Yo, what's going on, fellas? Welcome on into the Thursday episode here of Winning Bets. I'm, of course, Jason, giving you guys free sports picks every day. Appreciate you guys kicking off another morning with me here. How are you doing today? How is everybody feeling? The MLB season is over. We now get one day off, and then the MLB playoffs resume or kick off tomorrow. So that'll be nice and fun. Got Thursday night football, Colts and Broncos. Who's looking forward to that matchup? Have you already got your pick? And on this week's Pigskin Pick'em contest, where you can win $25 that I give away every single week. Make sure you get your picks in. A lot of people seem to be missing these Thursday night picks. You're starting off in a hole. Don't do that to yourself. Go ahead and lock in your pick right now on that one, where you got a line of Broncos minus 3.5 as they're hosting the Indianapolis Colts. We'll, of course, talk about that game a little bit later on. And then, of course, got soccer today. We've got some Europa League and Europa Conference Leagues games to talk about as well. But before we do all that, we always got to make sure we go ahead and recap the previous day. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do that now. Another just solid day. 3 days this week. 3 days where we've absolutely been kicking butt. Yesterday was the tune of plus 4.11 units. Love to see that right there. Hit that like, guys. Hit that like button, guys. If you were part of yesterday's cashes, what were those cashes? How about our nice 2-unit play? 2-unit play. Manchester City over 1.5 goals to be scored in the first half. No sweat, just like that Bayern game a couple 2 nights ago or 2 days ago, whatever it was there. No sweat cash. So was that one right there. And Holland, I even said on yesterday's show, if you want to just bet Holland to get a brace, you should do that. Like, you'd be well within your right. Well, he was the one that got the 2 goals early in that first half to give us the cash. They ended up getting 3 goals total in that first half, just like Bayern Munich got 3 goals in that first half. So love to see it, guys. You need some wins. Just go to the best teams in Europe, and we happen to get lucky this week that the best teams in Europe were playing not only teams that they could just beat up, but beat up at home. And obviously that's just going to, just really play in our hands of them, scoring goals and putting money in our pocket. Easy cashes right there. What about that 3-legged parlay I gave you guys? Leipzig, Real Madrid, and also Juventus. Leipzig, they were able to get past Celtic 3-1. Easy. Was never really in doubt. They handled business right there. They had early goals disallowed due to VAR. It was a Leipzig, and it was Leipzig all day long in that game right there. Real Madrid taking on Shakhtar. Boy, that was a close one right there. Real Madrid getting out to the nice 2-0 lead right there, and then kind of letting Shakhtar pull one back, and then just have to hold on, right? They didn't add anything else to it. The game finished 2-1, and just had to hold on. But it's hard scoring into Bernabeu, so, okay, Shakhtar gets one, but unable to do any damage right there. And then Juventus, nice 3-1 victory right there, never in doubt. Maybe the goals came a little late, but that first one there by Rabiot, holy hell, what a nice strike right there. Vlahovic, he was fed in by Di Maria, and then he was one-on-one with the keeper, an excellent strike right there. Just some good goals right there. Were you guys watching Golazo like I was yesterday? Man, just the goals are just flying in on Golazo. That's some great entertainment that we were treated to right there. We did suffer a loss, though, obviously, in that Benfica PSG game, over 2.5 goals and both teams to score. We got the both teams to score piece. And in fact, it happened in the first half. We just couldn't quite find a third goal in that. There were chances galore, and Messi's goal was absolutely wet. I mean, that first time, left foot, curl in the back of the net, that was side net. That was wet. I stood up and was like, woo, what a hell of a goal there by Messi. I don't really know what happened on Benfica's goal. Obviously, Golazo showed it and everything. They call it an own goal. It's kind of weird. It kind of a ball that was whipped into the box, takes a bounce, kicks in. I still saw the replay. I still didn't quite see the own goal piece, but whatever. So just unfortunate stuff. Both of those teams created enough to either one could have found a second goal. It just didn't quite go our way. Benfica also did not cover the +9 possession. They ran away with that. 60-40 did PSG on the possession. And then also earlier on, our Salzburg Dynamo, both teams to score. That one did not happen as well. Boy, guys, we were teased, boy. Dynamo got a goal in the 94th minute. And I thought, oh, shit, we're going to get one here at the death. And then, nope, offsides came away and took that one away. So, ended up dropping that pick. But then we hit our nice 3-legged parlay, or anytime goal scorer. We hit Vlahovic. I told you he had a nice breakaway there, one-on-one. Vinicius, there with Real Madrid. He got their second goal there for Real Madrid. And then Holland, brace. Again, first half brace. Pulled him off at halftime. So that's scary, right? Man City's always going to be ready to go. You love their quality. You love their depth. They're going to be ready to go this weekend at Southampton. Their best player didn't even play in the game yesterday, in Kevin De Bruyne. And their second best player, Haaland, only had to play a half as he was substituted at halftime. So they'll be ready to go. They'll be a strong team to back this weekend. Then we ended it, though. How about ending it with our one and only baseball play? Been taking it slow. Remember 2 nights ago we hit our only play there in Twins White Sox. And last night we hit our only play in Pavetta over 1.5 walks. Second inning cash. This guy has now had 20 of 22 starts. 20 of his last 22. 20 of his last 22. He's now gone over 1.5 walks. Shame we found this gem a little bit later on in the season and not at some point during that stretch. But either way, walked away with a nice cash. So again, plus 4.11 units. Now up on the week at plus 11.27 units. Love to see that right there. And as we talked about yesterday, we were able to put another $23 in our pocket. DraftKings doing the 100% profit boost there for another MLB last game of the season. We just arbitraged it. You could have dumped it on that Nick Pavetta play, but that one was at minus 110. If those odds were worse, yeah, we probably would have used it on the Pavetta play. But at minus 110, love those odds right there. And I'll just go ahead and take the free $23 that we got from that boost. So, all right, love to see it right there. Again, guys, hit that like button. Let me know you were part of that cash. Fantastic day, and now just a fantastic week. We got to keep this thing going right there. So, love to see it, and glad you guys have been a part of it. Good morning, everybody. Let's jump in that comment section. Yeah, my man, he loves him some White Rifle. I love you, man. If you got a guy, ride him hot and heavy, and you love it. Vlad also got that over 3.5 team total. Yeah, I was wondering if you stuck to your guns and did the over 3.5 team total, or if maybe you did switch over and jump on that Haaland brace just because of the price. So no sweat winner right there. They got 5 goals, so love to see that right there. Marseille and Porto. Double chance dub. Love to see it, Dad. You're on fire right now, pushing the right buttons. All right, guys, we got to set the stage of what's going on today. Dad's in there talking about soccer. That's obviously my love. We've got soccer going on today. We've got the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. You guys know I generally stay away from those leagues. We talked about the reasons. You just start getting into a lot of these clubs that you're starting to be unfamiliar with, and these clubs are from leagues that you're certainly unfamiliar with. But that being said, man, I want to gamble. I absolutely want to gamble today. So I say that because I always give my bets with, like stats and trends and all that good stuff. We've got some stats. We've got some trends today. But larger part, I just kind of feel like gambling. So again, we've got Europa League and we've got Europa Conference League. I did a parlay with the early slate of Europa League. I did a parlay with the late slate of Europa League games. And then you guys remember our guy, Professor? You guys remember from the just before the international break when we were kind of struggling a little bit and Professor gave us a win. We took Real Sociedad and we took AS Roma. We took in their games. We took Sociedad to win, Sociedad to have the most corners, and their opponent to have the most cards. And Professor's got a pretty straightforward strategy there, right? You've got the far superior team playing at home. They should win the game, and in winning the game, they're generally going to get more corners, and they'll frustrate their opponent getting to more cards. And again, we hit that parlay just before international break where we did Real Sociedad and Roma and a parlay. Let's go back to that strategy again, see if we can't use Professor's strategy and give us a win. So with that being said, let's go ahead and reveal first the 11:45 a.m., or at least in the time zone I live in. It's 11:45 a.m. This is in the Europa League. We'll go do Zurich at PSV. We think both teams can find the back of the neck in that one. For the Lazio game, Ciro Immobile, I think he's going to be an anytime goal scorer. Look for him to get his first goal today in the Europa League tournament. And then in Malmo, Union Berlin. Boy, Union Berlin is top of Bundesliga. Maybe can't be quite fit in their form in Europa League, but doing really good in Bundesliga. I think they can at least get a goal today here against Malmo. So go ahead and do over 1.5. Maybe they don't need to get a goal. Malmo can get them both. I think they both certainly contribute, but we'll just do over 1.5 on that one. You can see that one's at plus 353. And that'll kind of be a theme with these three parlays is the hope is you hit all damn three, but more the realistic expectation is you probably just hit one of these three parlays, which is just fine because the odds are priced where if we only go 1 for 3 this afternoon on these parlays, we'll turn a profit. So again, this is the 11:45 a.m. time slot, at least for a central time zone of the Europa League. Let's go ahead and now do the 2 o'clock. There's a next little wave of Europa League games. For this one, we just did a 3-legged both teams to score parlay, a 3-leg both teams to score. We're going to do that Fenerbahce AEK game. We'll go ahead and do Freiburg versus Nantes. And we'll go ahead and do Midtjylland versus Feyenoord on a both teams to score parlay. And again, you can see that one's at plus 14. So again, we only need one of these to hit, and we'll go ahead and turn a profit. Which one are we going to go ahead and do? Or I'm going to leave that up here for a second. So it's Fenerbahce, AEK, Freiburg, Nantes, and Midtjylland, Feyenoord there for both teams to score parlay. And again, plus 418. Those first two bets were made at DraftKings, as you can see. The third one here was made over at Barstool. So which team are we like today that is the far superior team, playing at home against an opponent that they should crush, and hopefully that'll lead to them getting more corners and their opponent getting more cards? What's in the Europa Conference League, and it's AZ. They're in the Dutch League right there, doing really good. First in the league, actually, right there, over Ajax, come to find out. So, all right, this is a game that they should be able to handle at home. Hopefully they're able to frustrate their opponent and get them some cards. So that's how we'll go ahead and do it right there. Again, this one's at plus 250. So even if this one only cashes, we'll still turn a profit. Just need one of these three. It would be cool to hit 2 of 3, or damn near even be cooler to go 3 out of 3. But you guys gotta know how parlays go. Yeah, I kind of felt like gambling today, quite simply put. I just kind of felt like gambling. You know, we're having a really nice week. I bet we go 1 out of 3 at worst, and I bet we turn a profit before Thursday Night Football. So that's how we'll roll today, guys. You guys know I'm not big on these tournaments, not big in these leagues, but I want to have some fun just like the next guy. So here we go. That's how we'll do it right there. Let's jump in these comment sections. Are you going to do your NASCAR picks and Charlotte in 2 days? So here's the deal with the NASCAR picks there, Michael. You guys know Williams, my co-host there on the Highline podcast. He's come down with the flu. I'm just going to give him 1 more day to recover. He still feels like shit as of this morning talking to him. So I was going to do it today, but kind of want to see if William can maybe recover enough to do it tomorrow. So I'll either do it tomorrow solo by myself, or hopefully William will be feeling good enough and he can join me tomorrow. But either way, the Highline podcast, where we preview the Charlotte Roval race coming up this weekend, the last race in the round of 12 before we go to the round of 8. That video will be dropping tomorrow 100%. Just a matter of who's on the video. And do you ever round robin? Yeah. Not today, but yeah, I've done some round robins. Not a thing I've done maybe like in my life, like maybe 2 or 3 times. We're not talking a whole hell of a lot. It's not something I've done. So is Pub Sports on today? Yeah, it actually got canceled yesterday. They had a thing. It's live today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want a breakdown of all the Premier League games, you can check that out live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I will include the link to that video tomorrow because kind of talked about last week, I'm not doing Between the Posts anymore. Just kind of stand by that appearance there on Pub Sports Radio. I'll have that link tomorrow in the video description when we're hanging out tomorrow if you're unable to catch the live, and give you plenty of time to watch that show and get caught up on the Premier League. And obviously we'll roll out some Premier League bets tomorrow. So that'll be coming today, though, at 4 p.m. Eastern time. All right, what are we doing now here for Thursday Night Football? Thursday Night Football. Who's looking forward to this game? I'm not so sure about this one, but we're, of course, going to go ahead and bet it. Going to go ahead and bet it accordingly with 3 bets. Colts and Broncos, first half under 21.5 points, minus 130. Colts and Broncos, no score first drive. That's what NSFD is. DraftKings is doing a promo today where they've boosted that from like minus 220 all the way to even money. I was already falling in love with the stats to begin with, and then once I saw that promo, okay, you're going to give me that bet at even money. That's a no-brainer. And then will either team score 3 unanswered times? No, at plus 175. The only scores that count are touchdowns, field goals, and safeties. Extra points and 2-point conversions do not count for this prop. So we're just talking touchdowns, field goals, and safeties. Will there be 3 unanswered scores in a row? I don't think so. All right, so the Colts are averaging 5.8 points scored in the first half. The Broncos are behind them at 9.5. Colts are allowing 16.3, and the Broncos are allowing 21.3. If you do the math right there, the first half should say it'll be at 21.9 points. Is how many points should be scored in the first half, just based on raw numbers right there. That is obviously more than 21.5, so that would not be good to us right here. But boy, a lot of things here would suggest an under can hit. Colts games are 4-0 to the under so far. All 4 Colts games have cashed the under. The Broncos games have cashed the under in 3 of the 1. If you look at third down conversions, in terms of from an offensive standpoint, these 2 teams were ranked towards the bottom of the league in third down conversions. On the flip side, in terms of third downs allowed, they're actually pretty damn good in third downs allowed, third down conversions allowed. So we absolutely love to see that right there. And punts per game, both of these 2 teams are really bad in terms of high in punts per game and punts allowed per game. Yards per play, these 2 teams offensively rank towards the bottom in terms of yards per play. But just on the flip side, in terms of defensively, though, in yards per play allowed, these two teams are in the better half of the league, in the top 10 of the league in yards per play allowed. So, like that right there. Then you go ahead and add in some injuries. Obviously, Javonte Williams is out. Jonathan Taylor is going to go ahead and be out for this one. This one breeds low scoring. I mean, any way you cut it, look at the stats. You can't come out of looking at the stats without suggesting that this is going to be a boring, sloppy, low-scoring game. Could obviously go the other direction. But that's not what the stats suggest when you go ahead and do the research and look it up. So I'll go ahead and bet it accordingly. And again, we'll do the first half under 21.5 points. We'll do no score in the first drive at even money. And will either team score 3 unanswered times? I don't think so. At plus 175 over on MGM. All right, so that's how we'll do Thursday Night Football. I'm going to throw up those parlays one more time just in case anybody needed another look at those. There we go. Oh, perfect. You can put that right there. So you can see Thursday Night Football and you can see that. Let's throw this one up over here maybe, and then we'll jump in these concepts and maybe cover up my grill. I'll want you guys to see those parlays. Let's move this one down. All right, check out those parlays. Obviously, my face is covered up. Let's get to any of these questions right here. Matt Ryan over 33.5 passing attempts. Obviously, you like that a little bit more with Jonathan Taylor being out. Maybe they will be a little bit more pass heavy, losing their featured back and their guy. So not a bad look right there. I thought there was enough injury concerns, guys, that put me off player props. You know, you got Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, 2 absolute studs, 2 playmakers, 2 guys that these 2 offenses lean on heavily. I thought with each of those guys being out, it just created enough uncertainty with the player prop market that I went ahead and stayed away. But I hear you. When you look at it, though, you would think Matt Ryan would certainly get a fair number of passing attempts. You're probably expecting a lot of punts, a lot of passes. McManus over 1.5 field goals I like. I can't be wrong with that one either, Alex. Based with how I kind of like the defensive game of the third down conversions on offenses being low, but on the flip side, the defenses also being low, I like it. Over 1.5 field goals made. I like it. I bet that one's pretty. I'm gonna look. I bet that one's pretty juicy if I had to take a guess. I bet that's probably, what are you talking, minus 120-ish? Let's see. What are we talking here? Maybe even minus 130. Yeah, it's minus 140. Yeah, there should be 2 field goals. That's minus 140 over on DraftKings, just getting one random book. So, yeah, that makes sense. All right, guys, that's how I'm going to roll with those. 3 soccer parlays, just need to go 1 out of 3, but something tells me this great week we're having, something tells me we're going to go more than just 1 out of 3. I think we're actually going to do it, guys, and go 2 out of 3, or maybe even just sweep the damn board this afternoon, and then roll that right into Thursday Night Football. Don't be surprised if I turn this one off at halftime. If I go ahead and cash at under 21.5 points, click the little remote button off because this one's going to be a snooze fest, I believe, boys. All right, guys, that's how we'll do it. Make sure you come on back for tomorrow's show. As Michael asked about the NASCAR, it's the Charlotte Roval, so we are definitely betting a road course. We're normally good at NASCAR anyways, and then you add in that it's a road course. Oh, hell yeah, we'll be betting this one for sure. We, of course, got to set the table there for weekend slate of the Premier League games and see if we'll dabble into another Bundesliga parlay perhaps, just like we cashed last weekend. And then, of course, NFL. We got to get out our favorite moneyline parlay. Can we cash our favorite moneyline parlay this weekend? What's going to be our favorite over-unders against the spreads? And then what about our favorite teaser of this upcoming NFL weekend? Come on back for tomorrow's show. We'll set the table for Money Making Weekend. All right, guys. Enjoy your... Do it. It's a day of gambling, man. We're up over 11 units this week. Like, we're just absolutely kicking ass. Have some fun this afternoon and gamble. There's not really much to gamble on. MLB playoffs start tomorrow. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Love the Boston pick yesterday. Yeah, you gotta love Nick Pivetta over 1.5. It's a shame we found that a little. It's a shame we found that a little bit too late. But glad you were able to cash with that, Ross. And thanks for hanging out with us this morning, my man. Thank you for hanging out. All right, guys, that's how we'll do it. Let's have us a good Thursday, boys. Let's have us a good Thursday. Come on back for tomorrow. Let's set the table for Money Making Weekend. Have a good one, fellas.